Good afternoon, Tuscaloosa. Good afternoon, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama, wherever you're watching the program, downtown Northport, right here for me. I am a couple miles away from the Bryant-Denny Stadium. We're here for a Football Friday. We're very, very excited. It's going to be the first weekend. Oh, yes, the first weekend where high school football, college football, and the NFL are all in action. So we are excited. You have made it. Oh, and I just slung my pen. That's how excited we are. Didn't mean to do that. I got another pen right there. That pen will work just fine. Welcome into the program. It is the Joe Gaither Show right here on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.com. You're watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys so much. You're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on Amazon. We're going to have a fun, maybe shortened Football Friday edition. I got to run out to a meeting here in just a little bit. We're going to plan the rest of our football season right here on BamaCentral.com with my man Chris Walsh, Katie Wyndham, and Austin Hannon. So we've got to get out to a meeting in just a little bit for that. But for now, you're here on the Joe Gaither Show, and we're going to have, four different topics to get into for today. All football related. Maybe one is football related. We'll just kick off with that. Well, actually, no. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We're going to start with the weekend's viewing material. Everything that you can watch this weekend if you are looking for Alabama-related content. Okay, so we all know Alabama is still, 8 days away. We're kicking off next Saturday against MTSU. Gonna be a big old beatdown in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Cannot wait for that. But if you are looking for Alabama connections or Alabama football to really watch this weekend, we have got you covered right here at BamaCentral.com. We just put out our newest recruiting rundown, and that will be our focus for the very, very beginning, as 4 Alabama Crimson Tide players are in action on ESPN this weekend. If you got ESPN, or if you know somebody who does have ESPN, I know every time, maybe not everybody's favorite channel all the time. Get the Little League World Series off my television, please. Hello, Miss Julene. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you so much. Oh, my gosh. Yes, Julene. It is so dang hot. And that's one reason a lot of the football games around here in Tuscaloosa are getting delayed till 8 p.m. tonight. If you are going to a high school football game tonight, double check your times, because, golly, the heat is so brutal, awful, disgusting heat. You feel like you're swimming when you're walking around in Tuscaloosa, swimming through the humidity and the heat. Gross. But if you want to stay inside tonight, if you want to stay inside this evening and watch some Alabama football or Alabama football-related content, you can watch Saraland Spartans. The Saraland Spartans are taking on the Lipscomb Academy Mustangs, yes, at 7 p.m. on ESPN, and you'll be able to see Alabama commit Ryan Williams. Oh, my gosh, he is the dirtiest player. Oh, my gosh, he is so filthy good as a wide receiver for Saraland. He's just a junior. We've talked about it on the program before, a little bit of speculation or whispers or rumors about Ryan Williams reclassifying into the 2024 class. He could help this Alabama football team right now. Right now, he could. He is that dadgum good. He is incredible. So fast, so quick, agile, good hands. The man can play wide receiver, and for the Saraland Spartans, he's going to be the engine driving them, likely back to the state championship game. I'll just go ahead and say it. They're definitely, oh gosh, they're the 6A favorites. Again, they won 6A last year, beating Mountain Brook in the state championship game. They've got quarterback KJ Lacey. KJ Lacey, who is a Texas commit. You can watch he and Ryan Williams tearing things up on ESPN tonight. Alabama still in on KJ Lacey, but he's kind of waiting and seeing what the Tommy Rees offense will be before he decides maybe if he wants to flip his commitment or not. But that'll be tonight on Friday night. If you're not going to a high school football game this evening, and you want to watch some Alabama-related content, you want to get familiar with Ryan Williams, you've seen his YouTube videos, you've seen his highlights on Twitter, and you've seen all kinds of stuff, you can watch it on 7 o'clock Central Time. Yeah, Central Time. If you're watching us in other time zones, it's going to be 7 o'clock Central Time. Saraland Spartans against the Lipscomb Academy Mustangs. So 7 o'clock, you'll see KJ Lacey and Ryan Williams. We'll see if we can flip KJ Lacey, but really the huge star is Ryan Williams. And Saraland, they're just going to play good football anyways. They are the 6A favorite. They're really good, so they're worth watching tonight. Next up. Okay, look ahead to tomorrow, and you see, you pull up college football scoreboard, and you look through the matchups, and oh my gosh, they're really not that good of matchups. They're really not that many good matchups this weekend. Obviously, Vanderbilt and Hawaii are playing at 6:30, so there's your little SEC connection on Saturday. Navy and Notre Dame probably taking the biggest marquee game, I guess, as far as brands go. They're going to be at 1:30 on Saturday. But look, you don't want to watch any of that BS. You don't want to watch any of these bad football teams. You want to watch some Alabama football commits, some prospects. At 3 p.m., you want to watch some Alabama football commits at 3 p.m. on Saturday. You can turn your television to ESPN and watch St. John Bosco play St. Thomas Aquinas. St. John Bosco over there in California, and then St. Thomas Aquinas down there in Broward County, Florida. I think St. Thomas, are they the Dolphins? I think they are the Dolphins. But you're gonna get Peyton Woodyard. If you are familiar with Peyton Woodyard at all, or if you're not familiar with Peyton Woodyard, you get Peyton Woodyard, 4-star safety, and he's going to be taking on St. Thomas Aquinas at 3 o'clock tomorrow on Saturday. So you're looking forward to seeing him. Now, look, you go in, you're like flipping around, watching the ESPN, you're watching all the programs, you're watching all the football. At 9 o'clock on Saturday, closing down your evening, 9 o'clock on Saturday, you're going to have Julian Sayin taking on Xavier Brown. You'll have Carlsbad, California Carlsbad Lancers taking on the Mater Dei Monarchs at 9 p.m. on Saturday. So look, you're going to get both the Alabama commits on each side of the football, and you're really going to probably going to be some high-level football, California football. So look, four Alabama commits on national television this weekend. Starting on Friday night, Saraland Spartans. Saraland Spartans are taking on Lipscomb Academy at 7 tonight. And then tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Peyton Woodyard is going to be playing. And 9 o'clock, you'll have Julian Sayin versus Xavier Brown. All right, so there's topic number one. Topic number two, we'll keep it nice and tight, nice and quick, because I am running late for my meeting. What a quick thing. Yesterday, bad news. You had Jerry Jeudy. Oh my gosh, he cannot stay out of his way. He cannot get off his bad luck. Jerry Jeudy expected to miss several weeks with a hamstring injury. Hold on one second. I'm going to respond to all my friends waiting on me. 1:30. There we go. All right. So just a couple more topics here. And thank you all, everybody, for putting up with that little nonsense. You can follow us right there on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Joe Gaither 6. Okay. Jerry Jeudy cannot stay out of his own way. Tragic, terrible. You've got the Denver Broncos already losing Tim Patrick to a torn ACL. Jerry Jeudy was supposed to probably have a kind of a make or break year for him. And Jerry Jeudy just cannot stay out of his own way. So look, you've got terrible yesterday. Pulls up lame with a moderate hamstring injury and is expected to miss several weeks. So terrible for Jerry Jeudy. Look, as he was going into the NFL, look, I know Devontae Smith got all the accolades for being the Heisman Trophy winner, and kudos to him, absolutely. But the rideouts with Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Jerry Jeudy. For me personally, during their Alabama days, Jerry Jeudy was absolutely my favorite, as I think Jerry Jeudy's feet are just otherworldly footwork. I think his footwork is absolutely incredible for the wide receiver position, and it just has not translated to the NFL, whether it be a terrible quarterback play with who's the kid from Missouri, Drew Lock, who was there for a little bit, and then you have obviously Russell Wilson, who had a bad year last year, dealing with a bad back, dealing with a broken back potentially, but Jerry Jeudy just cannot get his NFL career going. Devontae Smith clearly being the number one receiver out of those four, with Jalen Waddle being number two, Jeudy three, and then by default, unfortunately, Henry Ruggs number four. So look, we're praying for Jerry Jeudy. We're hopeful that Jerry Jeudy will have a bounce back. We'll be able to recover from his injury quickly and be able to contribute. As really, there's a lot of pressure on the Denver Broncos this year to bounce back from last year under head coach Sean Payton. You're going to really, obviously the offense will likely look a lot more competent. Jerry Jeudy just cannot stay out of his own way. And yesterday, tweeting a laughing face emoji, probably out of frustration. Because he's never really had major injuries. He's never had major problems, but it's always been little nicks, little knocks, hamstring injury here, foot injury there. I think he had an ankle at a different time. Jerry Jeudy, just bad luck being dealt to him all over the place. And maybe it's the Denver altitude. That might be a foolish take. But Jerry Jeudy, hopeful for him to get out of his own way and really fulfill the potential that you saw from him at Alabama. Really, really, obviously Devontae Smith the next year, his senior year, winning the Heisman Trophy is incomparable. But while they were all here, all the four of them were here together. To me, I know they were all playing paper, rock, scissors for brotherhood routes and trying to get touchdowns. To me, Jerry Jeudy was the most talented and most skilled of those four wide receivers during their Alabama days. It just has not translated to the NFL very, very well. And so, obviously Jerry is Mr. Jeudy's cashing checks, so that's a positive thing. Look, he had a little bit of a legal incident with an ex-girlfriend. Just been a series of minor things, minor problems for Jerry Jeudy in the NFL. And it continued yesterday on the practice field with a pulled hamstring. So he's going to miss several weeks, according to the NFL reporters. And we hope that he's back full speed very, very soon. The Denver Broncos could use him. All right, so let's flip it real quick to very, very local. If you are watching tonight, if you're looking around in West Alabama, if you're watching WVUA tonight, you are going to see my ugly mug on television with our friend Gary Harris. Gary Harris of Tide 100.9 and WVUA sports director has invited me this year to be his in-studio guest, and I am very, very honored, very excited to do that. I've never done any television. I'm looking forward to being a part of WVUA. Tonight's game of the week is going to be Tuscaloosa County High is taking on Central in their rivalry matchup. It's going to be on 15th Street. Game starts at 8 p.m. tonight. Come join us over on 15th Street, and make sure you're tuning in tonight at WVUA 23. I think my time slot's going to be right about 11 p.m. So it'll be late. I know, understand that, and no problem if you are asleep already. But I'm looking forward to being a part of that for the first time this year, and that's going to be. I'm a little nervous about that, just to be honest with you guys, but I'm excited to take a new project underway and learn a new skill under the direction and guide of one Dr. Gary Harris. So I'm really looking forward to that. Look, the other games going on tonight, Hillcrest is away. Hillcrest is getting their season started away. Brookwood, you got William Sanders, Alabama commit. Brookwood is taking on Holt. Brookwood should, especially behind William Sanders, should steamroll Holt. Now, Holt's going to look a little bit different under a new head coach this year. I know that they've tried to implement some better processes and some standards over with the Holt Ironmen, but I expect Brookwood to take a clean victory tonight over there on Veterans Memorial Boulevard if you're going over to Holt High School to see William Sanders. Otherwise, You got Gordo and Sipsey Valley are taking on one another right here in Sipsey Valley. We'll see if Lance Cormier Jr., LJ, will be able to take down the Gordo Green Wave. So I'm really looking forward to kind of hearing about that matchup. I got a friend or two going over to that game to see what LJ's got. You all know Lance Cormier from his time pitching here at the University of Alabama, and obviously in the majors with the Atlanta Braves and several other teams. Lance Cormier and his family living in the Tuscaloosa area now. Lance Cormier is in charge of CrossFit Candor, a gym, a local gym around town, and his son will be playing quarterback for the Sipsey Valley. I think the Bears, Sipsey Valley Bears, I believe they are. So they're going to be taking on the Gordo Green Wave tonight at 8 o'clock. All right, last thing, we're going to flip it to soccer real quick. Soccer will round us out for the day. I apologize for the short program. We're just kind of in a busy mode, and I'll prepare my Fridays a bit better in the future. But here we go. Alabama soccer yesterday gives up its first goal of the season to Lipscomb, but Alabama wins 3-1. It puts 3 goals in the back of the net behind Isabel Smith. Isabel Smith putting 2 away, and then of course you have oh my gosh, it just escaped my name. The super Gianna Paul. Thank you. Gianna Paul scoring the third goal for Alabama, putting Alabama up 3-1, and then 3-0, and then Lipscomb scored to make the goal to make the score 3-1. So you have Alabama still undefeated in its first 3 games, 3-0. You're going to play Memphis on Sunday. If you're going looking for action right here at this Alabama Soccer Complex at 7 p.m. on Sunday, Alabama taking on Memphis. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Please jump in and join us. My man Will Miller and myself will likely be over there for BamaCentral.com. We encourage you guys to follow us at BamaCentral.com for all the Alabama Crimson Tide coverage. Looking forward to kind of getting that going on Sunday. But the ladies taking care of business 3-1 yesterday against Lipscomb on the road. So 2 road games, 2 victories. You've gotten what? A 2-0 game, a 1-0 game, and a 3-1 game. So the girls have been under control and in control for the early part of the season. We'll see if they can keep it going against Memphis on Sunday right here at the Alabama Soccer Complex. All right, so look, we're going to leave you kind of in a lurch right here. We're going to do a show. We're probably going to do another 4 or 5 minutes. If you have any comments, you can jump in and leave, or any questions, comments, queries, questions, and complaints, you can leave them in our comments section right there at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at Joe Gaither 6. You can find me on the social media machines. Yesterday, we were in the Naylor Stone media room with Dallas Turner and Darian Dalcourt. Darian Dalcourt seems like he's locked into the right guard position after playing center the last 3 or 4 years. It seems like Seth McLaughlin you took our jobs. He took his job, and Darian Dalcourt fitting in at the right guard position as Tyler Booker is moved over to the left guard position during fall camp to help out one Caden Proctor. So we're really excited to kind of see how this offensive line looks. The offensive line sounds like it's really taking shape as a fivesome, if that's a word. Fivesome. Is fivesome a word? You've got Caden Proctor, Tyler Booker, Seth McLaughlin, Darian Dalcourt, and J.C. Latham as your first 5 right now for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And it sounds like Darian Dalcourt and the guys are really excited to stay in this physical focus for Alabama's offensive line. I asked Darian yesterday about kind of the RPO, because the reason behind my question was because I feel like Alabama the last couple of years, especially under Bill O'Brien, has gone to the RPO, putting a lot of pressure or a lot of faith in the hands of Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, and now Bryce Young, which is great. Those guys are great. Those guys handled that very, very well, obviously, throughout their time. But in doing so, my motivation for asking about the RPO was I wondered about the offensive line firing off the football, driving off the football consistently and physically, because, with the RPO, if it's a pass, you can get called for illegal lineman downfield. If they go, 3 or 4? I think it's 4. I think it's 4 yards if you're a legal lineman downfield. And so I wondered if too much RPO being mixed into the offense with Bill O'Brien was affecting the physicality of the Alabama offensive line. if everybody's worried about getting too many men down the field or all illegal linemen down the field, I wondered, if those philosophies were affecting really just kind of the attitudes of the offensive linemen. Now, Darian Dalcourt gave me kind of an interesting answer. He said, even if it's an RPO, we block it like it's a run. Period. We block it like it's a run, and we let the quarterbacks decide if they want to pull or if they want to pull and pass, or if they want to hand it off and leave it as a run play. I found that to be interesting, and I don't know if that's going to be a difference from last year to this year, or if that's always been the coaching point. But Darian Dalcourt sounded like he's ready for the season, and got really and was really excited to. I think he's excited to take on the new challenge of right guard. And really, let's think about him for a second in the NFL. Right guard's going to be about where he is. He never got low enough from the center position. He was probably a little too tall for the center position in the NFL. Seth McLaughlin might be a little undersized, but Seth McLaughlin, his technique is incredible and it's impeccable. And I think that is really what has given him the edge on the offensive line, his technique. And I think that he probably is a little more confident in the calls and in the adjustments along the front, up front with the Alabama offensive line. All right, we'll flip it to the other side. We also heard from Dallas Turner. And look, I love listening to Dallas Turner because he seems like he's very, very comfortable up there in front of the podium. He seems like he's very comfortable talking to the people. And yesterday, he talked about his Jordans. He talked about his Jordan cleats and kind of talked about Caleb Downs being a dog and saying, that he's really come with it. And he talked about Yancy Pierre and Keon Keeley being with it and really stepping up as freshmen. I think Dallas Turner is going to be a really fun player to follow this entire year. I know Dallas didn't really have a great year last year. Kind of maybe was overshadowed and maybe was part of the defensive scheme issues, which I think there were many defensive scheme issues really related to the fact that the defensive line didn't have great depth. And so Dallas Turner and Will Anderson had to handle really filling in some of those depth roles along the defensive line. I think this year Dallas is going to really just be eating on the edge as an edge rusher and really just creating havoc in the backfield. So I'm really excited to Mike, I'm not going to be – oh, yes, Mike, it'll be on WVUA. I think it's going to be on WVUA's channel, YouTube channel. I'm not 100% sure. I'll get more clarification on that from Gary Harris here pretty soon. Gary Harris, he's hosting Football Friday for WVUA. I think it begins at 10:30, and I believe you can see that online, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll be following all the Tuscaloosa area games, and I'll be focused more on County High at Central. Appreciate your interest, and thank you for your comment. I think it's going to be on WVUA's Facebook or YouTube. I'm not 100% sure. I know that Gary will repackage it and post it on his Twitter as kind of a standalone YouTube video if you want to check that out. Don't know if it'll be live, but I know it'll be available very, very soon. And lastly, okay, let's where was it? Oh, Dallas Turner, excuse me. It's been a fun morning getting everything ready for today. Dallas Turner, I just think he exudes a lot of confidence. He kind of let it slip a little bit yesterday that, since this is my last year. Oh, is this your last year? But you never know what's going to happen. You still have 8 months. You still have 6 months or so before Dallas has to decide that. What, August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, 6 months until he has to decide whether it is his last year or not. But obviously, his talent is incredible. His talent is impeccable. The last thing on that note, you had NFL mock drafts get put out yesterday by ESPN, by the draft heads, and you look through, I believe it was our guy, Mel Kiper. You look through the first 15 picks, 4 Alabama players in the first 15 picks. J.C. Latham, Dallas Turner, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Who was my fourth? I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and find that. It's been a heck of a morning. I'm sorry for the confusion there. But Alabama, look, I'm excited. 8 days away from Alabama taking on MTSU. We'll be inside the stadium for BamaCentral.com. You can follow us at BamaCentral on all the social media machines, at BamaCentral SI on Instagram, at BamaCentral on Twitter. We love and appreciate everybody's attention. We are the Sports Illustrated home for Alabama. Look, tomorrow night, really the next 2 days is going to be focused on high school football. Tonight, 7 o'clock, Saraland is taking on Lipscomb on ESPN. If you want to watch Ryan Williams, you can do that. Ryan Williams and KJ Lacey will be on ESPN at 7 o'clock tonight. Then tomorrow, 3 p.m., Peyton Woodyard, safety from St. John Bosco, will be taking on St. Thomas Aquinas at 3 o'clock on ESPN. You'll be able to see the 4-star safety, Peyton Woodyard. And then at 9 p.m., you'll have Alabama's really superstar member, the crown jewel of the class, Julian Sayin, will take on the Mater Dei Monarchs. And, Mater Dei has Xavier Brown, 4-star cornerback. So you'll have 4 Alabama commits on ESPN this weekend. And then obviously you'll have the action going on with college football. Vanderbilt and Hawaii at 6:30. USC San Jose State at 7. If you have the Pac-12 network, you got, oh my gosh, it's just, it's here, but it's an ugly slate. Week 0, Navy and Notre Dame. They're playing over there in Dublin. Notre Dame's probably going to beat the brakes off of them. You'll see Sam Hartman, but then we'll get really into college football action next week. Next week, I've already got a great week planned. I've got Eric Anders joining me on Monday. Eric Anders, a former Alabama linebacker, is serving as the honorary captain for the MTSU game. He's going to join me on Monday. We're also going to interview Darren Mustin, who is also the other Alabama honorary captain, former Alabama linebacker as well. He's going to be. I'm going to interview him Monday evening, and I'm going to play that on Wednesday. Then on Tuesday, we're going to be joined by by MTSU staff writer Stephen Doughton. Is going to be joining us on Wednesday. Yeah, is that my correct name? Sam Doughton, not Steven. Sam Doughton, MTSU staff writer, to hear about the MTSU Blue Raiders. So we got 3 guests already lined up. We're still trying to get with Jay McPhillips. Look, the Yay Alabama guys are busy. They are so busy, and he's trying to get a time slot on the program. He has wide open range for me, but he's very, very busy trying to make Alabama athletics some money and trying to make Alabama some money and trying to get some money into players' pockets. So Alabama athletics continues to win. So we're still venturing to get Jay McPhillips on the program, and we will still do that as quickly as we can, but he's just a very busy man. Yay, Alabama is a huge project, and he is really, and you know how new businesses are. If you don't know how new businesses are, they consume your entire life to getting them going. So I appreciate everybody sticking with us on the program. I'm sorry for the shorter episode today. We are going to be on WVUA 23 tonight at 11 p.m. I'm looking forward to being with Gary Harris for Football Friday. Come see me at County High, at Central. County High is playing at Central on 15th Street. We're looking forward to watching them and really getting the season going. I cannot wait for it. I love you all. Please follow me at Joe Gaither 6 on all the social media machines. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. Subscribe on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. Everywhere. We appreciate you guys, and really, you guys are why we do it. Football season is here. Go check it out, a game tonight somewhere in your high school area. Stay cool. Golly, the temperatures are brutal. Watch all the prospects on ESPN. Watch the college football on Saturday. A little bit of NFL preseason on Sunday. And really, just be excited about the season being underway. I'll be back on Monday with Eric Anders. Eric Anders, former Alabama linebacker. He forced the fumble, the Garrett Gilbert fumble in the 2009 Rose Bowl to win the national championship. Oh, yeah, that Eric Anders. Oh, and he's knocked out a bunch of bad men in the UFC. So we'll talk to him about Ultimate Fighting. We'll talk to him about Alabama football and just the start of the season, as he is the honorary captain. He is one of 2 honorary captains, and we'll have both honorary captains, Darren Mustin as well, next week on the program right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.com.